20 years in a big way. The entire cast is hitting the road and making New York living a pit stop along the way. Please welcome Adrianne Palicki. We clap.
I know, we clap.
We clap as we can. Hello.
Thank you.
How's it going?
So wonderful to meet you.
My hands are freezing.
That's
No,
okay.
me too.
It matches our souls.
I know, I'm like a corpse.
Did you look up what happened? Is there something in my hair? I feel like you just look. Now I'm self-conscious.
It's a coif,
Oh my
but
God.
it's great.
a coif. It is a coif.
I think separate beds, guys.
Separate beds, yeah.
I
Really?
I do.
You do separate beds?
I would.
What would be
what if somebody snores?
But that's it. Would it be just because I was saying my wife snores like crazy, but I now see it as like a sound machine. It's nose noise.
If it's that like melodic, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the
that would trigger you.
Yeah.
You
I
can't
have
do it.
friends who say their husband snores, and I'm like, go sleep in the other room.
Yeah.
Sleep
Exactly.
Sleep is very, very
It
important.
becomes
If
comfort.
you get a kicker, it's a
Yeah.
whole thing.
Not the kicker. The kicker, you're in a separate house.
But sometimes you have to. You come to rely on it. Like when I moved to New York City for the first time, I couldn't sleep for the first couple nights because it's wah, wah, and like people screaming. And then by the third night, you're like, I can't sleep without this.
It's true. Quiet is not good.
Quiet's scary. Happy 20-year anniversary.
Thank you.
This is very exciting.
Can you
20
believe
years.
20-year anniversary.
What was it like that first year?
The first year, 20 years ago.
Do you remember it?
Yeah.
I do. I met some of my best friends still to this day. Fell in love with Austin, where I still live, and got to be a part of maybe the best show of all time.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, it was pretty special. We were all just kind of these babies. Even Connie and Kyle, you know, who had done other things, like we were all kind of just coming up together and making this special thing. And I think being isolated in Austin back in the day kind of made it even that much more special because we were forced to kind of become friends and fall in love with each other. So I think it all helped.
It all helped.
I'm trying to think. I'm doing the math because it was 04 when it started, right?
Oh,
06.
06. I'm sorry. 06 when I
Carry the
started.
two.
Yeah, math. I'm on TV.
Mathing.
Not good. So I'm trying to think. As far as how old you were, was that like?
She was a zygote.
Was that like your high school or college years? That was like
I
you
was
were,
13 years old.
My gosh.
God,
No, I was 23.
Yeah.
So
It was good. It was like basically just like being in a fraternity and like with all your friends and just hanging out.
when I left the show, it was actually felt like I was going to college
Yeah.
and all
Like
my
you were
friends were still in
graduating.
high school.
Yeah.
And it was emotional. It was sad to leave.
Yeah.
I
you
bet.
know?
So you were talking to our producer earlier. You actually were one of the few people who liked football. Like you actually watched
I did
football.
watch football. I'm originally from Ohio.
Yep.
Which Ohio, Texas, you know,
yeah.
similar in the
Is that-
sense.
Friday
of-
Night Lights, yeah.
Yes. So, and funny enough, Jesse Plemons was one of the only people that actually played football. And he was the guy who was supposed to suck at football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he could do it for real,
Yes.
for real.
He's from Waco.
He doesn't suck at acting.
No,
fantastic
no. He's
actor.
doing okay.
He's
all right.
magnificent. Yeah. Yeah.
So you guys are taking the show on the road
We are.
and meeting fans along the way.
Thanks to Plex and ATX TV Festival.
Yeah.
We are going around the country and just trying to promote the show and remind people how great it is. And you know, if people can't be in the cities, they can watch it on Plex, which
Yeah.
is great, and be a part of it. But it's fun to actually just, you know, introduce it to some people as well who haven't seen it.
And we were talking yesterday about like people are now not watching new TV shows because
Right.
they're so insane and like they're going back to these TV shows they watched 10, 15, 20 years ago because there's a comfort to them. There's something about them that like it's just very special.
It's true, and this is a timeless show. I still have young girls coming up to me saying that they are going to college because of Tyra.
Oh.
And I just like that to me is something that it's so dear to my heart, and the fact that people are just watching it for the first time still to this day. Outside of like a cell phone or two,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
it doesn't age.
Are they only going to University of Texas though? Is it the only college?
Only.
Only. That's
Yes.
exclusive. Thank you for inspiring me.
Exclusive.
I'm only going to
To go
University
to
of
UT.
Texas.
Yes,
Hook 'em horns. So you produced a movie, Due West.
I did.
We're going to take a quick look at it
Okay.
and then talk, shall we?
We'll have a talk.
Let's have a chat.
Let's have a chat.
We sure have missed seeing you on Sundays.
Right.
You made it.
We get to have a little fun. Cheers.
Hey, it's been a while.
You can't afford to have blinders on. If you find yourself in trouble out here, you won't just magically find help.
Snap.
Heck yeah. Elliot from E.T.
I was just going to say Elliot from E.T., but that first portion you looked very jovial. And that last portion you look
You knew
not.
something was happening.
You know,
What's happening?
it's a feel-good movie.
Bring the kids.
No, it's a movie about something that's very important right now that's going on, especially in Texas. And it's a woman who has a medical issue and she needs help, and trying to find it and the strangers that she meets along the way. It's actually, I think, a beautiful story, and I think it's not black or white. It dances in the gray, and it is really truly about community. So I hope that people can see it, they can rent, buy it.
Yep.
Amazon, Fandango.
Fandango? So does
Apple.
Blockbuster.
Does this character depend on the kindness of strangers?
She actually doesn't, but she finds this interesting group of people along the way. Some good, some bad. And honestly, one of my best friends, who's back there actually, wrote and directed this, Evan Miller. And when he called me, he and his writing partner, they wrote this part for me, and it was one of the things I just felt like I had to do. And it was the first thing I've ever produced, and it's the most special thing I think I've ever done. And think of it as like if Tyra didn't go to college, where she might be. And that's kind of how I felt about her. And now, continuing the producing thing, I'm producing the docuseries for Friday Night Lights, behind the scenes.
On a roll.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
Keep it coming.
You know?
Please do.
Love it.
Please do.
Yeah.
Have a little control in this
Come on.
world.
As
Working
best we
for
can.
free.
As best we can.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me.
Of course.
Appreciate you.
Due West is available to rent or buy digitally.
And if you want to relive those Friday Night Lights moments, the cast selected episodes are available on Plex.